Okay. Alright guys, I've got some Edmodo messages on some of the multiple choice questions, so I thought I might as well do three difficult multiple choice questions that may be in the tomorrow's test. So this is one of them, question 3. The reason why I picked this one is because it's got a multiple of laws 1, 2 and 3 of index laws, so I thought I might as well explain this, inshallah. Now, one law that you might be confused with would be the third law, which is when you have a power bracket and a power. So when you've got something like this, you just pretty much multiply the powers. So when we're answering this question, what we should do first is simplify the numbers, and then once we simplify the numbers, then we can work out or expand the brackets, and then from there we'll take it one step at a time, inshallah. So what we'll do is, as you probably can see, I could do 4 times 3, which is 12, and then 8 times 6 is 48. So 12 48ths is 1/4, or if you want to break it up, you can just say, I can see there's divisibility here between of 4, so 4 goes into that and 4 goes into that. So 4 goes into 4 once, and 4 goes into 8 twice, and there's a divisibility here by 3, so 3 goes into this and this. So how many times does it go into this? Once. And how many times can 3 go into 6? Twice. So you can probably see that now. So it's 1. So if we were to redraw this fraction, you notice that 1 times 1 is 1, and 2 times 2 is 4. Now when we're expanding the brackets, everyone should know that y has a power, but it's invisible because y to the power of 1 is y. So just to bear in mind that there are powers there. So if we had to use this law, which was to multiply the powers between brackets, then this will be 2 times 3. So x 2 times 3. And then y would be 1 times 3. And then we have x to the power of 4, and then y to the power of 6. Now when we're doing this one here, this will be x to the power of 4, because 1 times 4 and 1 times 4. So this will be x 1 times 4. And then y will be y to the power of 1 times 4. And then we have this new bracket here, which is x 3 times 4, and y is 2 times 4. So then when we simplify this, it will be x to the power of 6, y to the power of 3, x to the power of 4, y to the power of 4, and so forth. So now I'm just going to move on because we don't have enough space here. Move on, and that's pretty much it. You'll get something like that. Now there are many ways of doing this. The longest way is to expand all of this. So you have x times x times x times x 6 times, y times y times y, x times x times x. So you lay them out all in expanded form. Do the same thing to the bottom as well, and then you just cancel the top and the bottom. But I feel like that will be long. Another way of doing it is you can work out the top first and then simplify it. Work out the bottom, simplify it, and then simplify it again. And then another way of doing it is you can just simplify all of it in one hit. So we know that when you go to over x to the power of 4, that'll be, if we had to just work these two out, it will be x to the power of 6 take away 4, because this bar represents a division. So that's one quick way of doing it. So if we had to solve x and simplify x just to have 1x, it will be x to the power of 6 plus 4 take away 4 take away 12. And then if we had to do the y part, it will be y to the power of 3 plus 6 take away 4 take away 8. And then you'd write that all in one here. And whatever's negative or positive, just reposition it. Reposition it. But I'm going to do it a bit longer. I'm going to work out the top first and then the bottom. So we have x to the power, and by the way, I don't need to put 1 here because 1 times x is x. So I'm not even going to worry about the 1, sorry. So x to the power of 6 plus 4. And then we'll do the y, which will be y to the power of 3 plus 6. And then we'll do the bottom. So we have to include the 4. So we have x to the power of 4 plus 12. And then we have y to the power of 4 plus 8. Now if we were to simplify that, there'll be x to the power of 10, y to the power of 9 over 4x to the power of 16 and y to the power of 12. And then we'll still keep this. We'll write x to the power of 10, take away, and we'll put the 4 there as well. So it's x to the power of 10, take away 16, because it's a division. It's the second law. And then we have y to the power of 9 minus 12. So this will be, if we were to simplify it again, it'll be x to the negative 6, y to the negative 3 over 4. Now, obviously, one of the laws when we're doing when we're trying to make all the powers positive, we would just put that down and swap the power from negative to positive, and that's pretty much it. So let's answer this. So the answer will equal to, put the 4 there, and this will be x to the positive 6, y to the positive 3, and obviously there should be a 1 on the top. So that's our answer. So yeah, there's many ways of answering this question. I think the best thing is to just go through that revision practice sheet that I gave you, and there is a few that you can do. Just get that practice, or go through the textbook and just do them. The only way to actually be comfortable with this is to practice.